Ninjago's history, we have gotten many different kinds of hero characters. We've had the reluctant hero, the chosen one, the hero who turns bad for a little bit. However, out of all the main characters in Ninjago so far, we have never gotten a main hero character that is a true anti-hero. That is, until Ninjago's sequel series, Dragon's Rising. Dragon's Rising started out introducing us to one of our new main characters, Arin. The first episode of the show is shown through his perspective as he tells the story of how he and his best friend Sora got to where they are now. He explains his dream of wanting to be a ninja and details the events of the merge where he first met his hero, Lloyd, and got rescued by the ninja before all of the realms collided. Unlike most of our main characters from the original series, Arin's life before he became a hero was quite happy. He had loving parents and a simple life. His only interest was to become a ninja, protect people, and explore mystical realms. He had a very limited worldview, as he states that as a child he thought the other realms were only legend. He didn't know much about the world outside of his small neighborhood. Arin started off as a very innocent and optimistic character. As a child, he was interested in becoming a cool hero who could go on awesome adventures, and although he was innocent, mostly protected from knowing the true extent of the dangers of the world, he also had a sign of a very good heart, as he mentions even as a young child wanting to protect the people of Ninjago. So, Arin had a good life, but as we all know, every hero needs a tragic backstory. When the merge occurs, Arin and his parents get separated from each other. Arin, a young child, is now out on his own. He has no idea where his parents are or if they're even still anywhere, as so many people got lost in the merge. Arin's only choice is to survive. He ends up meeting Sora, who ran away from her home realm Imperium once the merge occurred. The two become best friends and start a life in the Crossroads, the main intersection of realms in the new merged lands. When we meet Arin all grown up, he is still determined to be a hero. He still wants to do good, talking to Sora about his dream to help other kids who were displaced by the merge. We can see that although Arin has been separated from his parents for years, the ones who taught him everything he knew about the world, he still has that same innocence and goodness in his heart. I think this is due to his companionship with Sora, as she was someone who understood what he was going through and was there to help him through the change. Arin and Sora have different stories, as Arin was someone who had everything and then lost it due to the merge, while Sora was someone who had nothing and then gained everything she had due to the merge. This causes them to have opposing viewpoints on the merge which don't begin to surface until later in the series. I think that despite their differences in how they got to where they are, they still understand each other very well because they both had to adapt to change and learn how to survive on their own. We learn that Arin has been able to teach himself some sort of wonky spinjitzu. At this point in the story, I wouldn't say that Arin is a hero just yet. I would say he's a survivor. He and Sora enter a mech race in the first episode in order to win money, to fulfill Arin's dream of building a new monastery where he can help other kids who were displaced by the merge. Using the means of a mech race to get money, we can see this example of the survival instincts Arin had to learn. During the race, Sora sees baby Ryu when he stumbles onto the track pursued by the claws of Imperium. Having come from Imperium, she knows the danger the little dragon is in, and she tells Arin they have to abandon the race to help him. At first, Arin doesn't want to abandon the race as they are close to winning, and thus would make them one step closer to achieving his dream. This dream of Arin's to help other kids displaced by the merge is an aspect of his character that I don't see a lot of people talking about, but I feel like it's really important to who he is as a character and is going to come back into play eventually. Anyway, Sora manages to get Arin to agree to abandon the race when she asks him, what would the ninja do? Wanting to live up to the precedent that his hero set, Arin agrees to abandon the race and save Ryu. I think this is a brilliant example of how Arin has his own idea of what doing good means, but when he thinks about how his heroes and ninja would have done things, he agrees to go down that path instead, to follow the heroism and goodness that they embody. I think both Arin and the ninja have goodness, just different kinds of goodness. I also think that because Arin has lived life since the merge, oblivious to how the world is really working, just focusing on surviving, his admiration for the ninjas has continued to remain strong, as he keeps believing that they will come back to help people again, and they have continued to be talked about by people as great heroes. Arin and Sora do their best to try and save Ryu, but are captured by the claws of Imperium. During their battle, however, they had discovered that Sora had some sort of elemental power like the ninja had. Now captured, Arin expresses how cool it is that Sora has a power and how he wished he had an elemental power. Sora tells him that not everything in his life is connected to the ninja, but Arin insists that it could be, as his hope in the ninja coming back one day is tied to his hope that he will find his parents again, and thus some normalcy can be gained into his life again. Arin is still set on wanting everything to go back to the way it was, or at least gain some more normalcy. He has hints of wanting things to be reversed even if he doesn't realize it, which is interesting when Ross brings up that very notion to him in Season 2. For example, Sora is very excited to have a home in the crossroads, but Arin mentions to her that some of them, like himself, are only there because they have nowhere else to go. He is obviously very upset that his life has been completely changed, and although Sora tries to tell him that change can be a chance for something better, you get the idea that he is still hesitant on believing that entirely. We know that he thinks Imperium is a very cool place, and I think he has this idea in the back of his mind that he and Sora could go there one day, and he knows that Sora could always go back there even though he knows that she doesn't want to, which makes it interesting that he knows that she has somewhere else to fall back on while he doesn't. He is a character who seems to be quite resistant to change, which I think may be what has been holding him back from achieving his full potential in the series so far. Right at the end of the episode, Lloyd, the legendary green ninja, shows up to rescue them. We then find out in the next episode that Lloyd had spotted Arin doing a form of spinjitzu and thought that Arin was a ninja. Arin is amazed that his hero actually thought that he was a ninja, making his dream of being a ninja seem finally possible in his eyes. After getting so much taken away from him, this seems like a miracle to Arin that his dream would come true. Lloyd helps Arin and Sora rescue Ryu and find Ryu's family. Arin wants Lloyd to teach them how to be ninja. Lloyd is hesitant at first, claiming that he isn't a teacher, but as he helps them on their journey to help Ryu, he realizes the potential that the two of them have, and agrees to teach them how to be ninja. As the season progresses, we see Arin's excitement at becoming a ninja continue at an all-time high. He is still in awe that he is being taught by one of his heroes and looks up to Lloyd throughout the whole season. Arin demonstrates constant bravery and determination to help others. He also manages to pull off object spinjitzu, which gives him a new ability as a ninja that none of the other ninja know how to do. At the end of Season 1 Part 1, Lloyd notices that Arin is feeling down. He asks Arin what's wrong, and he explains that he feels like Lloyd doesn't need him anymore now that the ninja are back. It shows a sense of imposter syndrome that Arin was secretly grappling with throughout the season, as he mentions how he knew all of this training and saving the world was only temporary. Lloyd explains that isn't the case and that he believes Arin has a lot of potential and that he wants to teach him. Lloyd wonders if there's something deeper behind the feelings Arin is having, and Arin mentions how he lost his parents in the merge and he has been looking for a family ever since. Lloyd lets him know that he has found that family and that family can always grow. I think this is interesting because I always saw Arin and Sora as a found family of sorts before they met Lloyd, and I guess Arin just didn't notice that he had found family in Sora. He was always just hoping that he could find his parents, that it was preventing him from seeing that he had found another family in the meantime. Everybody needs someone, and having found a found family doesn't lessen Arin's care for his parents. At the beginning of Season 1 Part 2, the ninjas split up to look for the dragon cores. Lloyd and Arin pair up. Lloyd continues to try and teach Arin how to use his object spinjitzu, and Arin seems more hesitant. He doesn't think he can do it again. This is unlike in the first part of the season where he was eager to try everything. He was eager to complete the training course and learn how to fight, but it seems he has lost some confidence in his abilities since then. He manages to do object spinjitzu again, however, when he remembers about the first time he did it. He remembers how Sora was in danger, and that motivated him to do it as he was scared for his friend. I think this shows his survival instincts again, as he managed to execute this unique ability in a moment of peril. And the fact that he could replicate it in a low-stakes situation shows his determination to work hard and be a great ninja. As the season progresses, Arin continues to be optimistic and heroic. In the episode The Administration, he discovers that the administration may have assigned his parents to another realm. He can't do anything about it at the current moment as he is on a mission, but this information floats around in the back of his mind. In the last episode of the season, Arin demonstrates some deeper frustration over not being able to do object spinjitzu unless he's terrified, expressing that ninjas shouldn't be scared. Lloyd tells him that it's natural to have those types of feelings, and that being afraid of being alone is a real feeling that he should come to terms with, as he can use those feelings for something positive. The negative feelings that heroes usually face are what inspire them to do good. For example, Sora being rejected by her parents in hometown encouraged her to use her powers to help others being mistreated. Arin responds to this sentiment by saying ninja never quit. I think Arin's fear of being alone due to losing his parents translated into him trying to protect and save others in Season 1. But after Roz got into his head, his perspective shifted into his negative feelings, resulting in him turning his back on what he once believed in and focusing merely on his own goal. Season 2 is where we start to see Arin's frustration with his abilities become more prominent. We can assume that quite some time has passed by the first time we see Arin and Sora in Season 2. Arin seems more discouraged than before because of his lack of an elemental power. Meanwhile, Sora, his best friend, has just gotten better at using her elemental power. He expresses that he feels useless as he doesn't have powers and still hasn't found his parents. As the season progresses, we can see that Arin hasn't learned more about how to control his object spinjitzu or how to improve his spinjitzu. It seems he's in a stagnant stage, not progressing as much as the other new ninjas, Sora and Wildfire, who both have elemental powers. But Arin also has something they do not have, spinjitzu, but he isn't getting any better at completing a full, proper spinjitzu move. When we first see his master, Lloyd, in this season, he is quite visibly a ball of nerves. He is dealing with visions due to becoming a conduit for a source dragon where he sees terrifying things. One thing he sees in the vision is Arin attacking him, which is a sign of what might come. In this first episode, Arin tries to encourage Lloyd just as he has for him in the past. I think it's clear in this season that Lloyd is not in the same headspace as he was in season 1, and that it is getting harder for him to balance teaching his students with controlling his own debilitating fears. As the season continues, Arin slowly starts to get more frustrated, as he feels inferior to the other ninja and doesn't seem to be getting any better than how he was in season 1. Lloyd tries to help him, but Arin's self-esteem has become so low that he blows him off. He has gotten tired of the encouraging words and wants more action to be done. We do see Lloyd try to attempt to help him learn in the moment, but Arin has just been embarrassed in front of the ninja for messing up and doesn't want to talk to anyone. I think a lot of his frustration stems from remaining in the same position for so long. He still hasn't been able to find his parents, and he thought becoming a ninja would help him get closer to that, but he has begun to see saving the world as a distraction that has gotten in the way of his original goal too many times. He becomes more focused on that original goal of wanting to save his parents that he loses sight of the bigger picture, that sight the ninja need to have of protecting everyone. In different occasions throughout Ninjago's history, the ninja have had to focus on saving everyone over prioritizing one person, Lloyd with his father, Kai and Nia with their father, etc. Arin has a moral compass of wanting to save his family, while the others have a moral compass of wanting to save all the citizens of the merged lands. Neither of them are wrong, they just have different priorities. Both are good things to prioritize, but Arin is getting fed up with not being able to find his parents because something else always comes up. He wanted to be a ninja to help others, but once it started to overshadow his goal, he started to rethink it all. I think this can also be tied back to the point I made before, about Arin being resistant to change, and that is what could be holding him back. He is resistant to change the goal he first set out with, despite the fact that he could probably find his parents along the way, while saving the world with a ninja. I also think one reason why Arin has not progressed at all in his abilities is because he believes it has to be the ninja that teaches him how to do these things, despite the fact that he taught himself spinjitzu. I think if Arin continued to try and uncover how he could unlock his powers on his own, he could have progressed, but he was set on having the ninja teach him because that's how he always pictured it. So when Lloyd got sidetracked by his visions to the point where it was taking a large toll on him, Arin continued to wait for his guidance. This could have caused him to remain stagnant in his abilities, while Sora and Wildfire were able to progress due to their own confidence in their abilities. All of Arin's frustration and not getting better culminates in his confrontation with Roz in Season 2, Episode 9. Arin is alone, separated from the ninja, and tries to fight Roz, but Roz easily defeats him. Roz tells him that the ninja are holding him back and that he could be so much more if he had a master who could teach him strength. Arin tries to resist, saying that the ninja are making him better, but this will stay with him as well. The scene ends with Arin thinking he sees his mom and dad, but in the next episode it is revealed to be Lloyd and Nia. I think this can also be an example of Arin's view of family at this current moment. Like Lloyd had said in the previous season, Arin had found a new family. He trusts the ninja as much as he trusts his blood family. I also think it's interesting that during this climactic battle during the blood moon, when his focus should be on saving the world, he sees his parents who he is afraid of letting down. The feeling of failure he has at not finding his parents yet is eating away at him, causing him to feel worse about himself. Like his vision showed earlier in the season, Arin is afraid of forgetting about his parents and moving on. He doesn't want anything else to change anymore. In the first episode of Season 2, Part 2, we see Arin and Sora return to the administration to try and find the whereabouts of his parents. He expresses his frustration when he finds out the information isn't available at the administration anymore, blaming himself for becoming distracted by being a ninja. He is starting to get a skewed sense of goodness, not recognizing that he is doing good for a lot of people by being a ninja. His self-esteem is really hanging on by a thread at this point. He continues to think he is inferior to the others and is only motivated by the fact that he thinks he did object spinjitzu on purpose in the 10th episode of Season 2, unaware of the fact that Sora faked it so he wouldn't lose more hope in himself. While looking for clues on who killed the matriarch dragon, Arin is confronted by Roz. Roz, trying to get into his head, tells him that Sora faked his object spinjitzu. Arin, knowing that Roz is evil, doesn't believe him at first. When he confronts Sora about what Roz said, she admits to it, and it breaks his heart that he knows Roz was right. His self-esteem is even lower now that he thinks even his best friend didn't believe that he could do it. Roz planted an idea of good and evil in Arin's head during their confrontation in Season 2. Roz explains to Arin that his worldview is too black and white. Arin sees Roz as evil and the ninja as good. But Roz explains that it is more complicated than that. He tells him that the merge is the true evil and that it was caused by the teachers, the very people Arin thinks are good, Master Wu. Arin says that he doesn't trust Roz, but he sounds hesitant. Roz says he knows that Arin will see that he is right eventually. From this point forward, Arin starts to doubt everything he once knew. He admits that he agrees with what Roz said about him not being the ninja he should be. He holds off on discussing what he learned from Roz with Lloyd, telling Ryu that he doesn't think Lloyd would believe that his uncle caused the merge. When Arin asks Frack about Roz, Frack demonstrates some of Roz's teachings about strength to him, which leads to Arin finally being able to do spinjitzu properly. Arin is delighted that he finally did it, but the audience can see that his spinjitzu is tainted with Shatter Spin, the main defensive move of the villains, the Forbidden Five. Arin is too excited at finally being able to do spinjitzu, however, that he doesn't realize that his morals are starting to shift. Finally being able to achieve spinjitzu without the help of the ninja is a tipping point for Arin. He slowly starts to get more cold towards them as the rest of the season continues. He immediately is angry with Sora, but he still seems to have some sort of trust in Lloyd. It isn't until Arin tries to tell Lloyd about Master Wu that he starts to completely lose trust in Lloyd. Lloyd doesn't believe him at first, but he can't get into it at the moment because of the tournament fight going on with Sora and Noct. Frustrated that Lloyd doesn't seem to believe him, he decides to just help the other ninja in stopping whoever was killing the matriarch dragons. When the other ninjas show up to the fight against Noct, Lloyd finally sees that Arin can do spinjitzu properly, as he had not seen him do it prior. When he asks Arin how he learned, Arin responds with a cold, "Not from you." He then joins Roz's side for the remainder of the fight. Shortly before this, Roz had revealed to Arin that he could help him find where his parents are. Roz being the first person to give him real proof that he could help him with finding his parents causes Arin to trust him more. This leads to Arin desperately following the Forbidden Five when they try to kidnap Roz, as he needs Roz's help. Sora and Lloyd beg Arin not to go, but everything happens so quickly. Arin quickly glances back at them, but proceeds to jump through the monastery portal to follow Roz. In the very last scene of Season 2, we see Arin with a completely broken trust in his heroes and a determination to accomplish his one goal, finding his parents. His worldview from the first episode has been completely shattered. He doesn't believe the ninja can help him anymore because they were affiliated with the person who caused all of his tragedy. He doesn't think highly of them anymore because he needed their help and they couldn't do what Roz has shown him he can. Because Arin thinks Roz can help him with his goal, he now wants to stick by his side. I don't think Arin necessarily trusts Roz, I just think he knows he can use him to achieve his goal. The only goodness he wants to follow anymore is his instinct to find his family. He is fed up with protecting everyone else when no one seems to be trying to help him. I do not think that Arin is completely evil. I don't think he wants anything to do with Roz's plan. I don't think he has any vengeance to ruin the world or anything. He's just focused on wanting to fix his life. He wants to not be a failure. He wants to find his parents. I think Arin is an anti-hero for this reason. He has a skewed morality and has lost the idealism he once held at the beginning of the series. He is still trying to do good, but not the same good that the ninja are trying to do. I don't have a lot of predictions for Season 3, but I do have a slight idea of what might happen with Arin. I think we will see that Arin doesn't want to help Roz with his plan to reverse the merge, but I think expert manipulator Roz is going to convince him somehow that reversing the merge is the only way to bring his parents back. I think that Arin will take advice from Roz on strength, and his skill set will continue to grow at the cost of his morals. I think Arin might get close to finding his parents in this season, but I honestly don't think it will happen until the final season of the series, which I hope is later rather than sooner. I think Arin and Roz will run into Moro, and Moro will try and convince Arin to go back to the ninja, but I don't think he'll do it just yet. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Arin returned to the ninja by the end of the 20-episode season, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he didn't just yet. I think he will continue with Roz and won't realize how skewed his morals have become until he's done far too much to help Roz in his plan. I think through this journey his character is about to go on, he will discover the beauty that came into his life because of the merge, and he will discover more about what it really takes to be a ninja. I think he will also teach Roz a bit more about looking out for others as he extends kindness to Roz. I really like the anti-hero Arin has become, and it's so interesting how they completely subverted our expectations for this new main character in the show. Arin reminds me a lot of another character from Ninjago, and that's Harumi. Harumi was a character meant to be a total shake-up for the series, the first character to be somewhat a part of the team, who revealed that she hated the ninja because of something that happened in the past, despite them saving the city. Both Arin and Harumi started out as young children who had a deep admiration for the ninja, but they faced a traumatic event tied to the ninja that changed their view on the ninja. I think a character like this is very interesting to have, to show the sacrifices that come when you're a hero, how they can be doing something for the greater good, but not being able to save the smaller individuals who need them. I think Harumi executed this well in the Oni trilogy, but by the time Crystallized unnecessarily revived her character, her whole backstory began to crumble, and the audience wonders why she ever really hated them in the first place. On the other hand, we get to see Arin's optimistic worldview crumble in real time as he slowly starts to distrust the ninja. We see the seeds get planted, and we see it all build up into a very emotional moment at the end of Season 2. We have seen every step of Arin's journey and understand why he distrusts the ninja now, while with Harumi we jump from her in the present moment hating the ninja to a flashback that just tells the story in a quick glance. Ninjago has always tried to achieve a character who's meant to show the ninja that the good they're doing for the bigger picture ultimately comes out as a sacrifice for the smaller guys. They tried it with Harumi, they even tried it with Notakon. I think it's a story that is important for Ninjago to tell, but they've never quite hit the mark. I think what they needed was to show every step of the breakdown of trust, and I think they needed to do it with a main character as opposed to a side character or a villain. Telling the story through Arin, who has spent a lot of time with the ninja and had considered them his new family, is much more effective than showing it through a character like Harumi, who only joins the team for a short period of time and doesn't have much interaction with any other characters besides Lloyd and Nia. A main character turning away from the team they dreamed of being a part of is a much more emotionally rich story that causes the audience to think more about the ninja's actions, the idea of good and evil, and the morality behind Arin's decisions. And that's why I think he is the character that Ninjago needed.
Arin, not to insult the dreams of my best new friend, but you are so not a ninja.
When the first trailers for Dragon's Rising came out, we all thought Arin was going to be the new classic hero character, almost like a direct parallel to Lloyd or Kai in the original series. I think the completely 180 they did with his character was highly needed to reinvigorate the show's storytelling. Especially since Arin was like the first main character we had like with a big story after Crystallized. Yeah, we needed a character that was very different. For so long, Ninjago's had characters that were easy to predict what was going to happen with them next, so to be completely surprised by the way a character is going is a very welcome change. Overall, I think Arin is such a deeply interesting character and is written incredibly well. I'm excited to see how the rest of his story unfolds and how his character continues to develop. Shout out to Future Collects for suggesting this video, it was a lot of fun.